Everybody, welcome back to our Monday live events at 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So yeah, welcome back. Make sure if you're new to the live events that you're going to get your questions ready, type them up, get them in so we can ask them. Last week we talked about maybe shortening the lives from an hour maybe to 30 minutes. So this one we're going to kind of play it by ear. If stuff starts dying down after 30 minutes, we're probably going to wrap it up. But we're going to kind of see how it goes. We might end up moving them to a different time, shorten them up to 30 minutes, and that'd be the standard. So we're going to see kind of how it goes. So don't wait till the end to get your questions in. But we'll go to the shop and we can talk about things that have changed since last week. And my problem is I can't always remember because so much stuff goes on. So I know we did 4 roof inserts last week. So 4 roof inserts, those are all crated up out the door. We talked about frame rails last week. So those aren't anything new.
You did the door skin, back truck fender stuff, right?
Yep. Yeah, we did 32 door skins, got them shipped out. I can't remember how far this was last week. Everything's welded together, mostly planished out. I've got a little bit I'm going to do after I do the wire edge. And then today, I got a little bit of a late start working in the shop on this. I had to build a crate this morning to get all my stuff ready for the Bailey Industrial class up in Wisconsin this coming weekend. So I had to build a crate, get that shipped out with all my merch, my parts, bucks, all that stuff for the upcoming class. So if any of you guys are watching and you're going to be at the class, make sure to comment that you'll be there and I can keep an eye out for you. And if you guys aren't watching, well, I'll see those guys there and make sure to sign up for a Bailey class in the future because it's always a really good time. So yeah, with my late start on this, I took our turning tool that I made and I started turning the flange for the wire edge. Usually I would do this in the Pullmax with a tipping tool, but the fenders are so big, as you can see, I can't manhandle this in the Linux to do it. So I just made a little tool and it goes in and I can pull that flange down. If you want to see how this works more in detail, there is a video of turning the wire edge in the first fender. So I'll get this all kind of pulled down to a 90, then I'll come back with a hammer and dolly it, clean up any areas that need a little bit more work, and then I'll take this little dolly I made that's the thickness of our wire, and I'll hammer that into a J, and after it's in a J, I can clamp the wire in place and finish wrapping it around, and then I'll use some squeezers to squeeze the wire closed. Again, if you want to see more of that in detail, how everything works together, other than this dolly, it wasn't in the first video. Check that video out. I'll see if Dom can put that in the description after the live ends. So if you guys come back, revisit the video after it's published, we'll try to have that in the description. No questions yet?
There's nothing.
Nothing. So we got a few people in here though, right?
Like 9.
Yeah, that's not bad. At least we're not talking to ourselves. Trying to think of what else went on in the shop last week. I designed a bunch of frame rails. None of them have been bent yet. I'm waiting to hear back on those clients.
You reorganized the back?
A little bit, yeah. Moved some stuff around again. We can't go back, and then I changed it back again this morning. Drove the GT a bunch last week, and the plan is to drive it to Manitowoc, Wisconsin on Thursday for the Bailey class. So that's why I shipped all my stuff up. I plan to drive it. So after driving it, I think Friday and Saturday, I just put it up on the lift, wanted to go through, grease all the suspension points, double check, make sure there wasn't anything crazy that needed addressed. So when I drove it home from Colorado, it'd been sitting so long, a lot of the rubber parts were dry rotted and it had actually beat the bushings out of the front coilovers. So I had swapped those as soon as I'd got home. So with it up on the lift, I was looking underneath of it and the back bushings had started to deteriorate. So I put new coilovers in it, ended up just using 10 position QA1s. So I got those in.
I've heard good things about QA1s.
Yeah, I like to run QA1 on everything. So the red car's got QA1 coilovers. the GT, the white Roadster, the Streamliner, all of that stuff. I really like QA1 stuff. So got that in there, fixed a couple oil leaks. Like I said, greased everything and just checked to make sure that I could do as much preventative maintenance for the trip as I can. And then this morning I looked up the weather map, and they're calling for a chance of rain from Cincinnati all the way to Manitowoc. So I'm going to keep an eye on the weather. I don't mind driving the car in the rain, but I don't want to drive the car in the rain for 8 hours. It'd just be miserable. So if it's a slim chance or the weather looks like it's going to break and just run into spotty stuff, I'll definitely take it. If not, I'll probably just have to take the truck, which is a bummer because I'd planned on taking the GT for a couple months now. And you guys voted on it, and the GT won in the discussion group where you could vote on your thoughts of what I should drive. So it was I think my truck came in second. So the Super Duty came in second, and the Daytona came in third on that kind of poll. And then Noah Norwood, the hot rod kid, will be in on Wednesday night. I pick him up from the airport. He's going to Bailey to do the class with me. And then he'll be working in the shop with me next week, helping me get caught up on a couple projects. So next week during the live, we'll have Noah here. So you can ask him questions. If you don't know who Noah is, make sure to check him out. He comes out and helps me from time to time just around the shop, and we teach classes at Bailey together. So any questions? Nothing?
There's nothing.
Nothing. Well, we might be wrapping this one up a little short.
That's weird. I just talked about that, and now it's there's 13 people.
Yeah.
Anyone? I checked it. We're good.
Huh. I don't know.
Anyone got any questions?
Yeah.
What's Mike's favorite color?
Yeah. At least let us know that that you're here. That way we know that we're not frozen or we're having Wi-Fi issues.
Good afternoon. There we go.
Yeah, we got something. So another thing that sucks is sucks but not sucks. So I'm getting the shop swapped over from propane to natural gas. So I got all the lines and stuff ran for that, and I have to hook it up and switch my propane furnaces over to natural gas. And my HVAC guy said the front furnace is 30 years old and it's junk. So I have to do that. So he dropped off all the new equipment for that, which was almost $10,000 in HVAC stuff. So that kind of sucked last week. But it beats having to do it next year when prices are probably going to go up even higher. So that'll be exciting. And he said he might want to put it in when I am out of town for El Mirage. So that'll be even more exciting. So I'll have to move everything around and get it prepped for when he's here.
What's going on? We're talking about it.
Yeah.
Do you have any events planned for the Streamliner this year?
Well, the Streamliner is not going to be anywhere near done this year. So I'm going to try to get to work on it, but we'll see how everything else goes. I know we're only partially into the year, but I still got to get the red car put together. Waiting on that intake piece to come back, the upper plenum from the CNC shop, because I really want to get the red car done so Jimmy and Aaron can take it to Bonneville and run it. I'm going to focus on the MGA. So that's what I'll be running at El Mirage in 3 weeks. Yeah, 3 weeks. So I got to go out to California ahead of time and get that thing put back together the rest of the way and learn how to drive it. I've mentioned in previous live events that it's kind of going to be a challenge because it's right-hand drive, left-hand shift with a 6-speed. I've never successfully driven anything that's left-hand shift. So that'll be a very big learning curve. So hopefully we're going to get to the lake bed a day early, and I'll get some seat time just driving around, kind of learning how to shift through everything and get the car figured out. So yeah, that trip's coming up too. So next week is going to be really busy between working in the shop, trying to get stuff done. I got to get trailer maintenance going. I have to get new back tires on the truck, an oil change, stuff loaded up, make sure all my parts are in the trailer that I need for the race car. So next week's going to be pretty busy.
Hopefully those clips are all right.
Yeah. I kind of want to take the dust covers off and see, but I kind of don't.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'll probably pop them off and look at it. But I mean, we made it to and from California last time with no issues. So it should be all right.
Just make sure you don't do any U-turns.
Yeah. Yep. So.
What are you working on in the shop today?
Today, I had to make that crate that I talked about first thing. So I crated all my stuff up and got it shipped out. And then I had to just run some errands, get stuff prepped for this weekend, going up to the Bailey class. And then after lunch, I worked on starting to turn the edge for the wire edging on the Mack truck fender. And then had to draw up some more frame rails, write estimates for that kind of stuff. So Mondays are usually pretty hectic, getting stuff prepped for the week, frame rail estimates and that kind of stuff out, and getting all the pieces moving. So I usually don't get a ton of stuff done on Mondays. It's all administrative stuff and making sure all the pieces are working together for the rest of the week.
Busy bee, dang.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it never stops.
There's no other questions?
No other questions? Yep. So are you guys excited to see the MGA run? I know I've posted up some teasers of it up on stands, starting it for the first time. I'm hoping we get some good footage of going to California and of the car racing. So I'm going to take a few GoPros. So hopefully we'll do some in-car, some push bar stuff, and some videos facing backwards. And hopefully we get some good clips out of that.
1,000%. 100,000% actually.
Sweet. I'm really excited to drive the car. I think it's going to be pretty exciting. It's going to be a lot faster than what I'm used to. So,
how much horsepower does it have compared to?
I'd have to look at the dyno sheet, but I thought it was like to the wheels was like 580.
That's a lot.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a ton, but it's not. I mean, it's a crate engine running pretty much stock boost in an aluminum 61 MGA, so the power to weight ratio is really good. Mm-hmm. I've got the dyno sheets somewhere, I think. I think Kiwi sent me a picture of it the other day.
Can you take a couple hours to help me organize my garage a little? Or just loan me some energy?
I don't have any energy to spare. That's the hard thing.
What speed are you expecting from the MGA?
We're hoping at El Mirage to go 200 or a little bit over 200, and at Bonneville, I'm hoping to go 220 plus. So hopefully for high numbers. The car has been 200 at Bonneville. I think it was 2018 maybe, and that's when it had some clutch issues and steering issues.
Have you been that fast before?
I have not been that fast. Yeah, so the dyno sheet is 573.24 with 497 foot-pounds of torque. And it doesn't have an RPM. And that's at almost 7,000 RPM. Yeah, so you can see it kind of, it's where they let off. It stops pulling about 6,700 RPM.
What class is the MGA running? And you chasing a record in that class?
Yep, so we're chasing a record at El Mirage and at Bonneville. And it's going to run modified GT, and it will be a D engine. So D blown modified GT.
And I think it was like last live, wasn't it, that we talked about classes and the rules for it?
A little bit, yeah. And I got my rule book last week. So last year, the class was open. So at Bonneville, I could go out and run 100 mile an hour and qualify for a record. This past year, since I just got the new rule book with all the records in it, I think the new record in that class is 216. So we're going to have to go at least that fast twice to get the average above that record if we want to qualify at Bonneville or get the record. El Mirage is an open record, but it has a course minimum. So the minimum is 198 mile an hour to even qualify for a record. So yeah, we're going to have to go really fast if we want to get a record with that car. So I don't know if it'll happen this year. I'm hoping. But all we can do is take the car out, see what it does, and learn from there and go. Just keep improving upon that each time we go out. So this time at El Mirage, I don't know if it's going to happen because we'll probably get 2 or 3 runs in, maybe 4 if we're lucky. So this is going to be kind of exploring what the car wants and kind of go from there and use that knowledge at Bonneville and then use it again in November if I can make it back to El Mirage after our Australia class. So, yep, it's a lot harder than people think. So it might take me a couple seasons, but I'm actively chasing a record with this car.
How long is the El Mirage course?
The El Mirage course is 1.33 miles, and it's on dirt. So it's like 1.33 miles drag race. It's not timed over a mile like Bonneville is. It's an exit trap speed at the 1.33 miles mark. Or I guess 1.3 miles, however you want to look at it.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
That's it.
Let's think about something else.
Yeah.
If you guys like the shorts,
Yeah, we've been working real hard on shorts, and we talked about making the fixture. I can't put the fender back on the buck now because the edge is turned over. But these little fixtures I made that clipped on to show how to mark the wheel opening.
I like these. They look cool.
Yep. So then we can take it and it corresponds the same spot on the other buck, and that way we can get the opening symmetrical. Even if the fenders are a little bit different, being handmade, at least the openings will match side to side, which I think is super critical the way it goes around the wheel. It's not going to be like a huge difference. I mean, it might be a 32nd higher in a spot or a 16th. They are handmade. They're not going to be absolutely perfect side to side. But like I said, I think it's critical to get that opening to match.
That's a pretty short course. Do you have a push car at El Mirage?
Yep. Yeah. So we'll be pushed up. That's one thing. Me and Tom Stewart. I don't know if he's on here. He's going to be my crew chief at El Mirage. He's in the 200-mile-an-hour club. He's crewed on multiple 200-mile-an-hour teams. So he's going to help with that, and he's running all the information on what our push-off speed needs to be, what gear we're going to take off in, and he's going to do a lot of the math work to try to figure out how to get it there. So, yep. And then at Bonneville, we're going to run the 5-mile course. So we'll have a lot more time to run through all the gears. But that's one of the things that makes El Mirage a challenge, is it's on dirt, and it's a relatively short course to be going that fast. So,
is there rules on the push cars?
Yeah. So like at Bonneville, you can push as fast as you want within reason. I mean, if you could push to 200 safely, I'm guessing you could, but you can only push for the first mile. Mm-hmm. At El Mirage, it's push it to where you need to be and just get off the course. They don't want you pushing the whole 1.33 miles or even a mile. It's just get it where it needs to go and get out of the way.
Mm-hmm. Have ever thought about combining all your videos into a CD? In Idaho, we don't always get internet.
I don't know. I mean, we could look into that, like doing maybe a series, like doing the Mack Truck series as a DVD, or the Model A quarters as a DVD, group it into something individual.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might not be a bad thing. Or at least maybe a downloadable.
Yeah, I mean, USBs would be good.
Yeah.
That's more accessible.
Yeah.
You can just play it in anything.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe we'll look into that, like putting in putting them on a USB drive.
How do you deal with distractions around the shop that keep pulling you away from a project you're working on?
I try to limit my distractions. So the front door's locked. I don't answer the door unless you have an appointment. I don't answer the phone. You have to leave a message. So I try to eliminate those things, and then usually I'll put my phone down with whatever I'm listening to, whether it be music or an audio book or a podcast, and I'll just go to work. So I really have to kind of limit a lot of my distractions and eliminate where I can. So that's key for me, is just keep as much distraction out of the shop as I can.
What ratio are you running in the rear end?
I think it's a 308. I'd have to look at the book. I've got an ongoing journal in the back with all of that information. Because I didn't have the ring and pinion out, so I don't know for sure, but we counted it right at about a 3.0, and that style rear end, I think it's a 308 is the closest, 307 or 308 is the closest available ratio in that, because it's a strange engineering 9-inch housing, but then it takes a what is it? It's like a GM style non-dropout center section that they converted to a dropout. I forget what it is. It's not a Dana, but I don't know. The size of it just kind of slipping my mind. It was something real weird they did for a while. And what that does is that rotates the pinion up a little bit and puts it in a better place to get less parasitic drag out of the pinion in the ring gear. So that's why they did that on certain ones. So I haven't pulled the center section out yet to see what that is. I do have another set of gears out in California for it, but I'll have to see what those are too. We might change that out before we go to Bonneville.
Salisbury style diff center.
I don't know.
And 5 gear on the gearbox, is that overdrive?
It's a 6-speed. So fourth gear would be the 1-to-1, and then we have 2 overdrives. We can walk back, not all the way. I'll grab the book. I've got the gear ratio written in it, all the transmission gears. It's got a really good split section, so we should be all right. I'll grab it real quick. So fourth gear is a 1-to-1, and then fifth gear is a 0.8 overdrive, and then sixth gear is a 0.6 overdrive. And that's where I wrote that we counted it at a 3-0 to 1 just by rotating the pinion and the axles. But like I said, I think it's a 3.07 or a 3.08 that was available in that ratio.
Did he say that he was going to Speed Week in May at El Mirage?
It's not Speed Week in May. It's just the season opener at El Mirage. So it's a 2-day event, and I will be there unless something crazy happens. But yeah, we'll be there with the MGA at El Mirage May 17th, 18th, 19th. I can't remember the exact race days. But yeah, we'll be there for the season opener with the MGA. And then we will run Speed Week in August at Bonneville. So that's going to be a hectic few days because I plan to leave here on the 11th, and I'm hoping to be, that's a Sunday, and I'm hoping to be in Southern California by Tuesday midday, and then work on the car Tuesday afternoon, all day Wednesday, and Thursday morning. And as of right now, we still have to put the clutch slave cylinder in, bleed that, put the transmission in, drive shaft, all the interior sheet metal, the cockpit sheet metal, do an oil change, replace 2 fuel lines, new seat belts in, mount the seats, put the fire bottle tags on, swap out parachutes, wheel wells, belly pan, scale the car, and maybe change out wheels. So that's a lot. That's a lot of stuff to do in a day and a half to 2 days. So luckily, Tom will be there giving me a hand. I'm sure Kiwi will be there since it's his place, but I don't want to keep him from working on his customer stuff. And then F-Bomb Lucas from Colorado he said he's coming out early and he'll give us a hand prepping. So we'll have 3 guys on it, so we should be able to knock it out pretty quick, I hope.
I would love to follow your progress at the track. Will there be social media posts?
I'm going to do my best. Dom is staying here because you're graduating, right?
Yeah, I'll have graduation, so I won't be able to go.
Yeah. So he'll be here. I'm going to try to do as much, but the problem is once we start racing, things get a little hectic. So there'll be a couple other guys out there, and I'll see if I can get them put in charge of taking pictures and videos, so I can post some stuff. I like to do that, but it's just once we get into work mode and race mode, kind of the social media stuff falls to the back burner because we're focused on more important stuff with getting the race car down the course safely.
What revs do you think you can pull in 6th?
It depends. So at El Mirage, I don't even think I'll be able to hit 6th gear. We'll probably be in 5th, maybe only 4th. We're not sure yet. But I mean, on the dyno, it was 6,700, give or take. So I think at Bonneville, where we can run the 5 mile, we'll probably be 6,500 to 6,700 by the time we cross the end of mile 5. And we'll try to fine tune that with our tire diameter. So the car currently has 23-inch tall tires on it, and then I have a 25, I have a 26, and a 28 that we can play with to fine tune the gear ratio a little bit better on the final drive. We'll just have to figure out how well the car pulls and where and which gear, and fine tune it from there. Yeah, all the fun math stuff, and I suck at math. Mm-hmm. So I think Tom's working on an Excel spreadsheet, so we can just type in the speeds we're wanting to go, and it'll tell us what those speeds will be in each gear with corresponding tire diameter. Kind of take the guesswork out of it, or at least the paper chart out of it as well.
Bonneville, I reckon you will do 200.
I hope so. It's been 200 at Bonneville before, so I'm hoping it does well beyond 200. Like I said, I'm hoping for 220, maybe a little bit more, but only time will tell. And so El Mirage, they don't have a fuel truck, so I had to. Sunoco is the new SCTA fuel provider. So I was on the phone with Sunoco last week, figuring out which event gasoline they recommended for our application, because in modified GT, we can't run fuel. It has to be gasoline only. So we got that figured out, and it is Sunoco, wrote it on the table, Sunoco 260 GT, so it's 100 octane. And I ordered 15 gallons of it, and I think it'll be here tomorrow. So I'll have to lug that out to California with me as well, and we'll see how that goes.
You can't use like E85 or anything like that?
That's a fuel.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. Yeah, so anything other than gasoline is declared a fuel.
Okay.
And it has to be an approved gasoline by the SCTA. So like if you go to the pump and just get 93, it probably won't pass the test, and it won't be declared a gasoline. You have to use Sunoco gasoline, and then off of their approved list, and then they'll watch you open the tank, or watch you open the pail, put it in the car, and then they'll seal your can, and they'll seal your gas tank. That way you can't cheat. Yeah, that way you can't fill it with gas and then open it back up, drain it out, and put fuel in it, and then yep. So we'll see how the Sunoco 100 works.
Are the tires spec'd by the race committee?
Yes. So they have to be a racing tire at the speeds we're running, and I'm running Goodyear Eagle land speed tires, so they're rated for over 200. I think the ones that are on there, they're 300 mile an hour plus tires. The 23s are the 25s and the 26s. I think the 28s are, if not, they're going to be front runners, which I won't be able to run because you can only run up to 200 on a front runner style land speed tire on a driven axle.
You mess with any Audi/VW stuff?
Nope, that's really not my cup of tea.
Do they take tank samples and stuff like that they do here in Australia?
They can. It depends. Like if I have an inspector or it'll be Positive Pete. He deals with all the qualifications and record information. If he's there while I open the pail, and he can seal the tank for me, and then they might not have to take a gasoline sample. If nobody's around and I still have to put gasoline in it, they will definitely test the sample and make sure it passes the dielectric test to show that it is a gasoline, not a fuel. And then we'll have to pump the engine if we qualify.
What do you mean pump the engine, like take all the fuel out?
No, so what we would have to do is take one of the spark plugs out, and they put a fitting on it with a long hose, and you
get the
you get the cubic inch. That way they can verify that we're within the cubic inch range of our class, which is going to be really fun because you can't access the spark plugs without taking the body off the car. So I'm having to take some drills and hole saws. If we qualify for a record, I'm going to have to drill holes in the side of the car so they can pump the engine. But it is what it is.
So our questions right now, but I'm sure we'll get one soon.
Yeah, hopefully. How are we looking on time?
We are at 29 minutes.
Yeah, so we might run over a little bit, but again, if things just die off, we might just go ahead and end it early. That way you don't have to listen to me ramble about nothing. So
Here in Australia, some classes, they make us roll the head and then burnet the cylinder and bores.
Yeah, so like we would have to do that if we qualified for a record in the red car, being a flathead, they can't pump that engine. So we'd have to let it cool down, pull the head, and they would measure the stroke and the diameter of the piston with the head off. I would hope that they wouldn't make me do that on this car because it would be an ordeal being a Coyote. That we should be able just to go ahead and pump it and get accurately because it's a Ford Racing crate engine, so it's 302 cubic inch. We're within what it should be. So hopefully, if we qualify for a record, it's a somewhat easy qualification. But we won't know till we get there. And we could go out and not even qualify for a record, and it doesn't matter. So all we can do is what we can do and put it in the race journal and improve upon that for the next meet. Yeah, I did get I got my new race suit last week, so that was pretty cool.
Yep, it looked good.
Yeah, we posted some pictures of that on, I think, Instagram and Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a Stan 21 SFI 20 race suit. I really like the Stan 21 stuff, and I got it in like a silver, so it's a little duller than the white. It'll hide some dirt, and got my logo embroidered on the back. So I'm excited to try that thing out. I'm real big on safety with that stuff. So like even with the SFI 20 suit, I'm still gonna wear the Nomex fire retardant long johns underneath because I don't want to die in a fire. So I'm gonna be a little overkill, and I think that's okay when it comes to safety stuff.
Godspeed and shiny side up.
Yep, I'm gonna do my best.
Are you not able to install Zeus fasteners instead of drilling holes into the bodywork?
Well,
it's an aluminum body. It's not like the original body of the car, right?
it is the original body.
Okay.
But that's the problem is the engine is so big, the heads are up under the fenders. So we'd have to take the fenders off, which is going to be a chore because we'd have to take the fenders and then drill holes in the wheel wells, or we could just drill a hole in the fender through the wheel well. Mm-hmm. So that's the problem is there's nothing to Zeus fasten to. You know, it's like if it was we could put once we drill the holes in it, we could put a Zeus fastened access hole in it or an access panel. But right now, it's very hard to service, and you have to pull the body off to service the engine. And I don't want to be pulling the entire body off at El Mirage because I mean it is a stock bodied car. It's not like the red car where we have 4 quarter turns and just lift the whole body off. Mm-hmm. I mean it's almost a stock bodied MGA.
Okay.
So unfortunately, drilling holes on the side of the car will be the easiest solution, and then I would deal with making that look better later on. That's it.
That's it. We're at 33 minutes, but
yeah, we'll give it a few more minutes. Let you guys get caught up, get some questions in. We can look at the board. Being a new month this week, I went ahead and wrote our schedule out. And on a note, I don't know if any local guys watch the live event or not, but we are not having garage night this month, which is May, because I'll be in Wisconsin. So no garage night this month. I'm still up in the air if we're going to do one in June. It just depends on when I get back. So I wrote my schedule kind of wrong. I wrote the Mustang for this week when it's supposed to be next week because I got to get the Mack truck fenders finished and ready to go. So that's the big ticket item this week is get these fenders done so I can get them shipped out to the client. And then I got to pick Noah up Wednesday night at 6:43. Then we leave Thursday morning for the Bailey class. And I got that so I can cross that off the list. I don't think we've ever got to cross anything off on the live event. And the next week, it'll be on the Mustang. I'll be on some frame rails that I have to take to California. And Noah will be working on the roof of a car for me. And then the following weekend before I leave for El Mirage, we have a welding class, the 9th and the 10th, which is a Friday night and a Saturday. And then Sunday morning, probably 5 a.m., I'm going to hit the road heading west so I can make it to California, hopefully by Tuesday. And El Mirage, race prep and racing. And then I head back to Ontario, California, and I'll be working at Devious Customs, doing some metal shaping classes for him and his employees, and then working on a couple project cars. So that's kind of where I'm hoping to be back towards the end of the month, but you never know. If I get out there and he needs a bunch of stuff and then somebody else gets a hold of me, I might end up working out there a little bit longer. So those are kind of all the crazy things going on. May is usually always busy, and then August is always really busy. And for you guys in Australia, don't forget that I will be there pretty much the whole month of October. So I'll be going to the Bathurst race, and then we'll be doing classes for a few weeks at Motor Retro in Sydney. So if you're interested in getting signed up for that, reach out to Vaughn at Motor Retro and get signed up so we can see how long I need to stay. And I plan to hit up a couple shops kind of on the West Coast too. People want me to come out and visit. So I'm going to try to keep a week towards the end of my visit to where I can fly out to the West Coast and meet a lot of you guys that aren't coming to the class and then come home from probably the Perth area.
So taping up holes at the track?
Probably. Yeah, either that or I'll take some pieces of aluminum and we'll just hold it on the backside and drill it and pop rivet it.
How'd you get started?
In this industry, pretty much I was 19 years old, unemployable. I have an attitude problem, and I wanted to build cars, and nobody around this area did the type of work I wanted. So I opened up the shop with an angle grinder and a MIG welder and no money, and just worked my ass off for the past 19 years to kind of get where I'm at. And everything's evolved. Like, it was nowhere near this level of equipment, level of facility, or skill. That just evolved over time.
What is the elevation of El Mirage?
El Mirage is right around 3,000 feet. I believe. I'd have to look at one of the timing slips, but I thought the elevation was at 3,000 feet.
You will love Bathurst. If you can, on a Thursday, walk the whole circuit at Bathurst. You'll be blown away. 6.7 kilometers, about 4.2 miles.
Yeah, I don't know if I can walk that far. Yeah, I have a feeling like that would be really cool to walk the course, but if I can get there by then, I have a feeling I'm going to be kind of dead just because I'm going to be time traveling, flying from California to Australia. So hopefully I can make that happen, but if not, I will be at the event with the guys from Motor Retro and Machinery House. So I'm really looking forward to it. I kind of don't know what to expect, but I think it'll be pretty cool.
That's it for right now?
That's it. So what
you
are we
won't
at?
believe how steep it is.
Yeah?
Let me see what this looks like. Hold on. I feel like I know what you guys are talking about, but...
Yeah, Dom has got his phone out looking up Bathurst.
Yeah, I think I've seen this place. Yeah, I want to go to Goodwood
over in England.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
They got a bunch of cool stuff. Like, they had a Dakar truck on the course and a bunch of weird stuff. Have you seen the car that has I think it has a fan on the bottom or something? It's faster than a Porsche and stuff.
Oh, the one they flipped upside down?
Yeah, they flipped it upside down.
Yeah, it doesn't use a fan. It uses the aerodynamic, it uses aero to create downforce.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. What are we at time-wise?
We're at 38 minutes.
Well, I think because the questions are kind of slow today, right? Or do you think they're all right?
They're kind of slow, yeah.
Yeah.
Plenty of YouTube videos on Bathurst. It was a race cam. It was where race cam was developed here in Australia.
Oh, nice.
That's pretty cool. What speed are you going to try at El Mirage?
I mean, I'm going to shoot for 200. That's kind of my goal in the back of my mind. And if we get it, that's amazing. If not, I'm just going to do the best we can. I think that's a little bit of I don't know. It's just going to be tough because it's my first time driving the car, driving, like I said, left-hand shift, 6-speed, learning the car, and I have to license up. So it's not going to be first run is going to be going for 200. The first pass, I have to license up to my next license up. So I'll run up to 174-ish, and then I can get that license. And then my next pass, I'm going to kind of give it the beans and see what it does. So it might do it. It might not. All I can do is do my best and figure it out. And if I don't feel comfortable in the car, I'm not going to push it super hard. I don't want to risk or put an additional risk in by me not being confident in the car. So it'd be cool to get in the 200 mile an hour club at El Mirage, but that's a big ask for my first time driving this car.
You gotta what is it? You gotta work like what 100, like 120.
So on your rookie run, you run no faster than 125, and then 125 to 150 is your D license, and then up to 175 is your C license, and your B license is up to 200, and then it just keeps going up from that.
For info, the supercars at Bathurst will hit 310 kilometers per hour, 193 miles per hour down Conrad. That is very fast.
Yeah, that's very fast. So that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. Sounds like you have a lot of fun down there.
Yeah.
Any other races other than that?
No, nothing that I know of. Things pop up like I don't. Or do you just mean like in Australia? Or just in general?
No, like if you were going to anything. But...
No, I mean, my season is so packed full already. Like, I don't know if I could squeeze anything else in other than going to like the local dirt track, but other than that, I mean, I won't race anything. But yeah, El Mirage and then Bonneville in August, which will be a full week, and Bathurst when I'm in Australia. And I'm hoping, like I said, I can get home and get caught up enough to be able to go to the November El Mirage meet and run the MGA again. But that's going to be tough.
They do that for 6 hours, and it's a 161 lap race. Isn't the Daytona 500 laps?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's too long. Or like 24-hour Le Mans.
Yeah.
No thanks.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah, I mean, it would be fun to give it a shot, but
yeah,
that's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, any more questions?
There's nothing right now.
Yeah, because I was going to say, if we're getting close to 45 minutes, we might wrap it up at 45 minutes today.
Okay, yeah, we can do that then, because they're at 42.
Yeah, so get your last minute questions in. Just the questions are a little slow today, and I've got stuff to do at home that's outside yard work. I could put it off till tomorrow, but we're supposed to get bad weather, so I don't want to.
And you're leaving.
Yeah, and I'm leaving, so I've just got a ton of stuff to do. So we're going to tentatively wrap this up at 45 minutes, so just here in a few. So get your last minute questions in. While we wait on those questions, what video do we have coming out this week? Is it the Mack truck or is it door skins?
It's our final Mack truck video, and then we'll have the 32 door skin video.
Cool. Yeah, so in that Mack truck video, I'm not doing the wire edge in that video because I already did a whole video on finishing up the wire edging. So it's going to be getting it ready to come off the buck and be wire edged. So make sure to check that out on Thursday. And then, like Dom said, next Thursday we'll have making 32 door skins coming out. And there'll be shorts in between. I think we've got a couple weeks of shorts lined up. And hopefully we'll get some good content from doing the class up at Bailey. 2
drivers. Good stuff, guys. Thanks again.
Yeah.
Thank you, Michael. You're very informative on Bathurst.
Yeah.
Sorry I came in late. Good morning.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, you came in late. We're going to end it a little early today, but glad you stopped by. So if you have a question, go ahead and get that in before we wrap it up. If there's questions, I'll continue answering them. I'm not just going to cut it off. But yeah, if things slow up, we'll just call it a little early today.
I like the shorts.
Thank you. Yeah, we're trying to pump that stuff out. What do you guys think of the group discussions? We've been trying to get a lot of stuff in with that, and you guys have really been involved with kind of commenting back and being active with the polls. So I do appreciate that. Any questions or?
Nothing.
That's it. All right.
We're at 44 minutes.
Yeah. So I do appreciate you guys watching all the content, long format, short format. Any of that stuff is greatly appreciated. It helps the channel grow. If you don't follow me on Instagram, please do. Facebook's the same thing. All of that stuff helps, and I try to cross-pollinate everything. We do have a TikTok as well. I don't post on there a whole lot because I don't understand TikTok. Must be because I'm old. But yeah, check us out on all social media platforms. It all helps grow the brand and keeps these videos coming out on a more regular basis. So thank you guys so much for checking that out. Make sure to stay tuned for the videos we were just talking about that are coming out in the next couple weeks. And I'm sure we'll have some updates on some other stuff as well. Any last minute questions?
Me too. I'm old as dirt.
Yeah.
Awesome. Love the Mondays.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for checking it out. And we will be back next Monday. And Noah Norwood will be here. So you can ask him questions as well. So make sure to check him out, figure out good ways to harass him. I'll give you a little tidbit. Hopefully he's watching or hears about it. But he looks like he's 12. He owns a hot rod shop, and he's a cop. So you can give him all kinds of a hard time. Because I always like to tell him that if he ever pulled me over, I would refuse the ticket, because there's no way a 12-year-old's giving me a ticket.
It's impersonating.
Yeah, and that's why he's called the Hot Rod Kid, because he looks like a kid. So any last-minute questions, or are we out?
We're out.
All right. Well, thanks again for checking out this and all of our other content. I appreciate all the support you guys keep giving. It really helps the channel grow. So thank you guys so much. And we will we will see you next Monday at 5 o'clock.
Bye.
Yep. See you.